Justice is a term derived from Latin word justitia, which means joining or fitting or bound off or tied. The concept of justice has been analyzed and defined differently by philosophers, political thinkers, economists, sociologists, and religious leaders. It has been changing from time to time depending upon the conditions and circumstances. It has to coordinate and draw a harmonious balance between rights and duties of people living in the society. It is connected with the moral, social, economic, political, and legal relations of an individual with others. Justice is a concept of moral rightness based on ethics, rationality, law, religion, equity, and fairness. It is difficult to give a precise meaning of the term justice. Political thinkers and jurists had given different meaning and definitions. The reason for this is that the content and implications of justice differ from country to country and also from time to time. What was justice in the past is not justice in the present day. Therefore, it is difficult to define justice. That's why there are different definitions of justice. In the ordinary sense, justice means to give an aggrieved party what is due to it and punish an individual or a group of individuals or an agency whenever offense is committed. In the narrow sense, meaning of justice is associated with a legal system and legal process in a society. In this sense, it is related to the settlement of disputes through judicial bodies. There are a lot of characteristics of justice. The first one is human welfare. Second, ethical concept. Third, changeability. Fourth, fulfillment of reasonable interest. Fifth, performance of duties. Sixth, to provide everybody his reasonable share. And lastly, justice is related to values prevailing in a society. There is also basic postulate of justice. It must be truth, uniform values, equality before law, liberty, impartiality, respect of individuals' ability and capability. Protective discrimination is not injustice. Provision of rights, fulfillment of basic needs. Let's discuss about the dimension of justice. We have legal dimension of justice, political, social, and economic dimension of justice. Legal dimension of justice. This is the narrow concept of justice and is associated with the legal system and the legal procedure existing in the society. The court of law interpret the law and apply the law after hearing the parties involved in a dispute. Here, justice is what administered by the court of law, and the interpretation of the judge is considered an embodiment of justice. Justice and laws have close affinity with each other. State makes laws and implements them in order to establish justice in the society. Here are some necessary conditions to ensure legal justice. The first one is just law. Second, equality before the law. Third, uniform legal system. Fourth, impartial and independent judiciary. Fifth, inexpensive and efficient justice. Sixth, democratic organizations of legislative bodies. Political dimension of justice. Political justice stands for a free and fair participation of people in the political sphere. Universal adult franchise is the expression of political justice. All liberal democratic countries are based on the principle of one man, one vote, one value, is faithfully adopted. Quality of opportunity in getting elected and in holding public offices, freedom of expression and associations, and rights to seek redressal of public grievance are the important pillars of political justice. Following conditions are necessary to ensure political justice. The first one is universal adult franchise. Second, right to contest elections. Third, right to criticize the government. Fourth, right to form political parties. Fifth, right to protest. Sixth, right to petition. 7. Respect of human rights. 8. Protect of the interests of minority. Next, political authority should be based on the consent of the people. democratic system, and lastly, special provisions for the protection of the interest of backward classes and backward tribes. Social dimension of justice. Social justice means to give proper opportunities to every citizen in every sphere of life to develop his personality and to end all types of social inequalities. The concept of social justice is based on the belief that all human beings are equal and that no discrimination should be made on the ground of race, religion, caste, sex, or place of birth. Social justice has three implications. The first one is equal social opportunities. Second, special attention to weaker sections. And third, removal of social evils. Here are the following conditions that are necessary to ensure social justice. The first one is equality before law, absence of special rights, prohibition of discriminations, to end caste system, just distribution of wealth, democratic government, just balance between freedom and social control, social security, provision of equal political rights, protection of interests of minorities, and lastly, abolitions of social values. Economic dimension of justice. Economic justice means to provide equal opportunities to everybody to earn his livelihood. It also means to help such people who are not able to work and earn their livelihood. The basic needs of everybody such as food, cloth, shelter should be fulfilled and the unequal distribution of wealth needed to be stopped. Economic justice implies non-discriminations between man and man on the basis of economic viability. It stands for by assuring adequate means of livelihood to all by making provisions for adequate working conditions, for equal pay for equal work, fair distribution of resources, equal economic opportunities to all people, and etc. The concept of economic justice was emphasized by the socialist thinkers. Following are conditions necessary to ensure economic justice. The first one is right to work for everybody. Second, fulfillment of basic needs. Third, to reduce wide economic disparities. Fourth, protections of the interests of workers. Fifth, from each according to his ability and to each according to his needs. Next, just distribution of wealth. Next, end of economic exploitation. Next, special protections of the interests of weaker section. Limited right to property, question of states' inference in economic needs, fixed economy is better. And lastly, equal wages for the same job. By that, we can conclude that justice is concerned with human welfare and the protection of reasonable interest. It can be experienced only when each citizen will perform his duties in right perspective. A just society is that society where every individual gets legal, political, social, and economic justice. For every just society, there should be a proper combination among equality, liberty, and justice. There is a close mutual relationship among them. Individual is the subject matter of this concept. Equality of justice. What is equality? It means same status, level, rights, protection, but word full of inequality. Hart says principle of equality is an underlying essence of justice. According to Article 8 Federal Constitution, all are equal before the law and entitled to equal protection. No discriminations against citizens on the grounds of race, religion, gender, place of birth, and etc. There are 4 types of equality. The first one is freedom, welfare, resources, and political. When we say freedom, it is the right to life and movement. Welfare, it is to protect interests of poor people and affirmative action. Resources, it is the country's wealth. Political, it is the freedom to speech or Expressional association. Justice as equality. All people should be treated equally. To ensure equality, the doctrine of stare decisis is followed in the courtroom. Example, similar cases will apply similar legal principles to ensure consistency and equality in decision. Justice and equality require rules setting out how many categories or classes of people should be treated.